So today was really about David coming in and speaking to us on two really important things. What do we need cash for in a business? And most people miss the fact that cash is not just for paying salaries and for investment into plant and machinery. Cash is actually the lifeblood that you needed to keep the company going, and working capital is a big requirement. And we went on to that and said, if working capital is a big requirement, what are the ways of reducing the requirement? We gave examples of companies that work with absolutely minimal working capital. And then we went on to what does it mean to be frugal and introduced a concept called bootstrapping, which is very well known in entrepreneurial circles. All of the big billion-dollar companies have started extremely small, gone to a few customers, built products, built markets, and gone to next customer, next one. So there's actually a process which you can use to do that. That was the second part. And the last part was really fun for everybody because it was the first introduction on how to pitch and keep it really simple, keep the concept broad possible, and tell the people how you're going to solve a customer need and why you, what's special about it. And we gave everybody a chance to experience that.
So my interest is in entrepreneurship, but it's also particularly in the area of entrepreneurial finance. So I'm actually going to do two sessions, one a little bit about money and the other one about pitching, an opportunity for you to come up and practice pitching, which something to look forward to. But I'm going to start by talking about finance, and this is really to set the scene a little bit for Viren, who has some slides on bootstrapping and finance in general for entrepreneurs. But what I want to do is to start off by asking you some questions. So why does a company, I'm not trying to be cute here, but why does a company actually need money? Can you try to, I mean, by money I mean capital to invest, right? I mean, it needs, why can't you have a company with zero money? So just you can throw a few ideas at me and I'll write them down. Why does a company need money? But you raised the point, you said you want to be able to invest. In what?
Research and development.
Okay, R&D. Okay. Any other investments you want to make?
Staff.
Staff, what are they going to do?
Work for you.
Yeah, come on.
Assets. Sell stuff for you, maybe.
Sales, okay. Right, and this is really where it comes to, because this is the point that I want you to think about for your businesses. Sources and what you're going to spend it on. So let's say uses. I don't like that expression because sources and uses mean something in accounting, but anyway. The sources we can agree here is equity. So people who bought shares, and it could be debt. You borrow money from the government, for example. On here, what you're funding are working capital requirement, which is your point about inventory, which is why there's a great remark. Your customers pay you after you have shipped your product, even for software they do. Typically, the vast majority of companies get paid after they have provided the product or service. So you need working capital, you need fixed assets, which is your equipment, and you need losses. In other words, you go and hire a salesman, £50,000 later, they produce the sale. That losses, in the meantime, you've made losses during the time that you've what is called invested in the business. And really, I only want you to remember really one thing. If you forget everything else I've said, just one thing, which is this portion here is often forgotten by entrepreneurs. And the problem with it is if you sell twice as much, you need twice as much of this, because it's directly proportional to sales. You'll need twice as much inventory, you'll need to have twice as, the invoices outstanding will be twice as big. So the most successful companies are often terribly short of cash. So that's all I wanted you to think about. Think about finance in those terms.
So David raised some interesting points. So the uses of funds are working capital requirements, fixed assets, and losses. Losses created by costs that you needed to bear before you realize your investment. So you hire a salesperson, a sales cycle, maybe 12 months. You go through an accounting period, and suddenly you have to provide enough money for that. And these are really hard things, right? Because it's not easy. The earlier you're in the business cycle, the harder it is to raise money. And we'll discuss why that happens. And we actually will discuss something fairly counterintuitive. That is better to be frugal in the beginning. And there are some good reasons for doing that. And that brings me on to the second part of this three-part session today, which is bootstrapping. So, does anybody know what bootstrapping is? Michael?
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. In
Right.
other words, to start your company with zero external funding. Apparently. The apparently bit's really important.
Apparently. So where is it that you get your resources from? So what I want to just show you here is, when you want money, right at the beginning, your valuation is very, very low here if it's just an idea. The moment you build your product, you can go to the same investor and say, actually, my valuation was £50,000 when I just had this idea and had a team. Today I've got a minimum viable product and it's working. That means you've invested something going in, your valuation will increase. I don't know what it is, David, but is it what? When people have a product, is there a typical range? Something.
Million.
Yeah? Well, between 300
Plus or minus a million.
Yeah, so £300,000 to $1 million is the kind of range out there. Moment you have customers coming in and there's a market out there, that means the revenue paying customers, and it may not be the end user. Remember, the end user may not be the economic buyer. The evaluation goes even higher, and a lot of people say that actually this should be done together. You should build your products with your customers rather than build your product and wait for your customers. The minimum viable product is really working with this together. If you can prove growth, that your customers were buying and the number of customers that are increasing, that's even better, a better valuation. You're making cash and you're able to run your business. That means you're generating enough cash internally to meet all your requirements without going to investors all the time. Even better, and that is sustainable. Then you can go to the market and say, listen, I've captured London, I want to capture, I've captured the London taxi market, I want to go to Delhi. It's a proven model, it's a profitable model, I need money to scale. You'll get it at lovely terms because your valuation will be so high that when you borrow 150,000 in the future, it may be at a very small percentage of your equity stake than borrowing from the beginning. So it's really crucial for as much money and as much expenditure that is non-essential that you can defer in this cycle, the better are your terms. So which brings me just to the last part before David comes on. Each milestone that you achieve with cash that's your own, friends, family, food, parents, customers, improves your attractiveness to the market. And the later in life cycle you arrange for external investment, the better the terms. Because if you get money very early and you give a significant amount of stake away for that kind of money, then you're more likely to be controlled. They'll have a much greater say in how you run your business the later it is. Yeah, for the same amount of money. There's lesser control, lesser say. David, very happy for you to tweak this, correct this, and then take it over to
It's a fantastic expression. I listened to a journalist from The Economist, and he said the most important thing about a message is, as a journalist, you have to simplify and exaggerate. Okay, and considering they came from The Economist, that was rather good. So. My son's business is in the area of treatment of malaria, and he talks about my medical device is to treat malaria. He doesn't say, well, actually there are 3 types of malaria, and it doesn't work at all on one of them, and really only best works on this one. And it really, because of the life cycle of the malaria thing, you have to catch at the right point, and that's all irrelevant. Simplify is that my medical device treats malaria, exaggerate. It's applicable to this. There are 1 million people who die every year, that's my target market. That's a simplify and exaggerate message. Because you only have a short time to capture our attention, the elevator pitch as it's called, so the time it takes to go from one floor to the other. You have to be able to explain, get people interested in what you're doing. So the first thing I want you to do is simplify. When I say exaggerate, let's leave that one out, but don't be modest, okay? In what you're doing. You want to be able to talk about a need. So in the case of my son's thing, 1 million people die every year from malaria. That's a need. You want someone to address that. And if you can, fit in is how you're going to make money, or how you fit into that need, right? So just think about this, and because we're going to have a lot of opportunities for people to pitch.
Well, before these sections, all the technical terms are just imaginary. But then like after attending these lessons, I think these are really coming into my brain and sort of know what they really means. And especially the pitching section today, I don't think I really have much opportunity to really speak in front of a bunch of people with my own idea. So I think this is a very good chance for me to really practice my speech and pitching in front of an audience.
So next setup is spiraling innovation, but basically it's about getting to your first lot of customers. How do you talk to them? How do you develop products with them? And once you capture and dominate certain markets, how do you move on to the next segments? So it's trying to give our entrepreneurial team and colleagues and friends out here an idea of that, you can start small and aim big, and again there's a way, so it builds on the bootstrapping, but it really focuses on the customer. How do you go customer segment by customer segment to grow your business? Nobody starts with world domination or market dominations, but the companies who get there in the end actually still have followed a little beaten path onto that. So it's all going to be about that.